Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed at 1,000 subscribers. I'll be posting a special video. I drag the pen across the name my wife picked. My name is Jake and I'm 33 and I knew I would regret that stroke. Emily stares while the ink chews through her brother's name. She does not talk at first and the silence presses harder than yelling. Right there, I already know I will not undo this. The nurse shifts the clipboard toward us and asks if everything looks correct. My signature sits under the hospital print like a trap I walked into. Emily keeps her hands tight around our son and does not blink. I can feel her anger rising even though she has not moved yet. The nurse waits, pen ready like she stepped into a fight she did not see coming. "You crossed it out," she says, and the room suddenly feels smaller. I look down at the line and it is heavier than the ink. We both know whose name I scratched away and nobody says it. The clipboard shakes a little in my hand and I set it on the bed. This is the part where I could still back off and I do not. "We talked about this, Jake," she says as she pulls in a careful breath. Her brother's name sits there ruined and I feel like a vandal. I say I cannot do it and the air shifts between us. That sounds weak even to me and I hate how it lands. I am not giving my son that name and my voice finally comes out firm. "He is gone and this is all my family has left." Emily presses the words out like each one hurts her throat. "You promised we would use it for the first boy." She points at the form and her hand is shaking now, not mine. "If you back out on this, what else will you back out on?" The nurse clears her throat and asks if we need a minute. Emily does not look away from me and I tell the nurse no. I want this settled now before the entire family marches in here. That sounds dramatic, but I know them and I am not wrong. The door closes behind the nurse and the room tightens around us. "We can honor him some other way," and I hear myself bargaining already. "Middle name maybe, or something for the next kid if we have one." The second it leaves my mouth I hate the cowardly sound of it. I am trying to trade grief for flexibility like this is some contract. Emily shakes her head once and I know she will not bargain. "You agreed when we were picking names and now you are backing out." Her eyes shine and I know it is not just about the baby. It is about her brother lying in the ground without a future. It is about all the times the family called him the good one. They want that version printed in ink and I am messing with it. I do not want our son to carry someone else's life on his birth certificate. That is the closest thing to honest I can get without saying too much. I am not ready to unpack the real reason in this room, not with her body still aching and our kid barely an hour old. I tell myself I am protecting her, but part of me knows I am protecting myself. I pick up the pen again and the paper waits like a dare. The name is still visible under the slash and I could pretend it was a mistake. Instead, I draw another line through it to make sure there is no confusion. Emily flinches when I do that and it feels like I hit her. Somebody out there probably thinks I am the villain already and I get it. I move to the blank line and my hand writes a different first name. It is not special or meaningful, it just feels clean to me. There is no ghost attached to it and that is the whole point. Emily watches every letter like I am carving into our kid instead of the form. When I finish, I set the pen down and my pulse will not slow. "Do you understand what you just did?" Her words drop one by one between us like heavy little stones. My first instinct is to argue that it is only a name. I bite that back because even I know it is a lie. Names stick to people forever and this one was supposed to rewrite her brother. "My parents will lose it when they see this." Emily wipes her face with the heel of her hand. "They have been talking about baby Ryan for months and you know that." She does not threaten me out loud, but the message is clear enough. If I keep this name, there is no way back to being the easy son-in-law. The nurse slips back in and asks if we are ready to sign. Emily stays quiet and stares at the wall and I realize she will not save me here. So I nod and say yes and my voice sounds strangely calm. I write my name under our son's new one and feel like I am stepping over a line. The nurse smiles and leaves and Emily does not look at me once. As soon as the door closes, she grabs her phone from the tray. Her thumbs move fast and I know exactly which chat she is opening. I sit there holding our son while the messages fly out and I cannot unread that crossed out name. This is the moment everyone later calls my betrayal and they are already lining up on her side. I just do not know it yet and for the last time I think we might still be okay. Her phone buzzes nonstop on the bed rail before I even stand. Messages stack so fast I only catch my own name in the preview. She angles the screen I from me and keeps typing. Our son shifts against her chest and lets out a small, annoyed cry. I already know every buzz is bad news for me. What did you do? She does not look up, thumbs flying. I tell her we can talk before involving everyone. She laughs once, short and sharp. Too late, they already saw the picture. My stomach drops because I never saw her take that shot. I lean in and catch a glimpse of the group chat. Our baby's face is cropped under the form with the scratched out first choice. Under it someone has typed 3 question marks and my name in all caps. Another message pops up while I watch. Tell me that is not real. Emily pulls the phone closer to her chest like I am trying to steal it. Do not start, she mutters and wipes her eyes. I say posting that photo was a hit job, not an update. That word comes out harsher than I mean and she snaps her head toward me. You hit us first, she answers and my mouth goes dry. New alerts keep stacking at the top of the screen while we stare at each other. I hear the faint ding through the door from her mom's device somewhere in the hallway. That means the cavalry is already on the way. I could still shut this down by owning it calmly. Instead, I say nothing and let the chat write my side for me. I watch another bubble appear. Is this some kind of joke? Then another. Why would he cross it out like that? I swear I can feel the whole family lining up behind those sentences. None of them are asking what I think, they are asking what is wrong with me. I am not letting them choose our kid's future, I finally throw out. She rolls her eyes and tilts her head back on the pillow. This is not about control, this is about respect. Her voice wobbles on that last word and hits me right in the chest. Respect is their religion and I just vandalized the altar. The door handle moves before I can answer. Her mother walks in fast, hair still damp from a rushed shower. She doesn't greet me, just reaches straight for the phone in Emily's hand. Let me see. Emily passes it over without hesitating once. That tiny motion hurts more than any shout. Her mother scrolls, lips moving while she reads the thread. I can tell the exact moment she sees the changed first name. Her gaze locks on me like I just slammed a door in her face. You altered it after we all agreed. She grips the phone so tight her knuckles pale. You really went down there and did this. I feel my jaw clench and I force myself not to look away. It is still our child, our choice. She shakes her head, almost laughing. Our child, yet somehow only your choice counted today. Another notification chimes on her phone and she turns the screen to show me. Look what your little stunt looks like to everyone. The chat is filled with heart emojis on the old name and angry faces on the new one. Someone has typed, he erased my brother. Another line says, I cannot believe he disrespected him like that today. I feel my ears start to burn because that word erased hits too close. I did not just erase the guy though, and that is the part nobody wants to hear. You could have walked back down and fixed it. Her mom plants herself between me and the end of the bed. You still can, they have not filed anything yet. She says it like we are talking about a delivery mistake, like I hit the wrong option and should just reorder. I know once I move that pen again I am stuck in their story forever. Emily's father appears in the doorway, already breathing heavy from rushing up. What is going on? He glances at the baby, then at me, then at the form on the tray. I notice he does not step closer until he spots the slashed-out original. Tell me this is some misunderstanding. His stare feels like a dare. I open my mouth and nothing reasonable comes out at first. All I manage is I did not agree to have him carry that. The word that hangs there without explanation. Emily stares at me like I just swore at her family name. Her dad folds his arms and waits for something better. I do not give it. Carry what? Her mother leans in, eyes narrowing. A name, a memory, what exactly is so heavy to you? I know one honest sentence could blow up this entire room. I also know dropping it right now would crush Emily under it, so I shrug and let myself look like the selfish one instead. Her dad looks back at the group chat on his wife's screen. They are all asking if you regret marrying into this family. He does not shout. That calm tone hits harder. Is that what this is? You done with us now that you have a son? I feel that sink in because part of me did want distance, just not like this. Our son is not a tribute project. The words land stiff and cold even to me. Emily flinches like I slapped her. He was our best, she tells me, voice shaking. He was everything to my parents and you know that. She presses our baby closer as if I might steal him away. I cannot even blame her in that second. Her mother takes a step toward door, I am calling the clerk. She lifts the phone like a weapon. We will see if this can be corrected before they register it. I can picture her marching down there and tearing into some poor worker. I also know if she reaches them before I do, my choice is gone. Stop! My voice comes out louder than I planned and the baby jerks awake. For a moment everyone freezes while our son lets out a sharp wail. Emily shoots me a look that could cut glass. You are scaring him. She rocks him gently and glares over his head. I feel like I just proved everything they say about me in that chat. Her father moves closer to the bed, not to me but to them. We are not leaving until this is settled. He lowers his voice like we are negotiating a contract. You can sign the right first name now and keep the rest. That is the compromise. I feel the trap in that word right away. Once I nod, that is the family script forever. I look at my son, still red-faced and struggling to calm down. I know one day he will ask about the story behind whatever we chose. I cannot picture myself telling him I folded because I was outnumbered in a hospital room. That tiny imagined conversation holds me in place more than their anger. I already hear future me trying to explain why I caved. I am not changing it back. My voice is low but clear this time. You ever hear your own words and know you locked something in? That is what it felt like. Emily closes her eyes like she just watched a car crash she could not stop. Her mother lets out a long exhale and taps quickly on her screen. New messages appear almost instantly. So he is refusing. After everything that happened, wow, I do not know if I can forgive this. I see my name again clipped with words like cruel and ungrateful, and it still stings now remembering it. Back then it just made me dig in deeper. Her dad finally speaks again without looking up from the phone. You realize you just made this bigger than a name. He pockets his hands and takes a step back from the bed. Everyone will know where you stand now. That line sticks with me even now. At the time I just felt cornered. They leave together to cool off or regroup or both. The room quiets except for our son's hiccuping breaths. Emily turns her face away from me toward the wall. Her phone keeps buzzing on the blanket between us, each vibration another brick in the wall going up. I sit there and let it build because I still think silence is safer than the truth. She waits until the next nurse leaves, then drops it on me. We can still undo this. Her voice comes out low and rough. I am burping our son and my hands go still on his back. When your partner says undo this about your newborn, your body notices. How I keep my eyes on the baby because I am stalling. We sign the name my parents expect, just for now. She shifts on the bed and winces but pushes through it. Later when things calm down we file a change, quietly. I actually freeze. For a second it sounds almost practical. Everyone gets their big emotional moment now, and we adjust later. I picture her parents cheering over a photo of the certificate. Then I picture my kid one day seeing that first record. So he starts life with one label and ends with another. I hear how stubborn that sounds, even to me. It is just paperwork, she whispers, fingers stroking our son's hair. It keeps my parents from hating you before we even get home. That part hits. I am not going to lie to you. There is a selfish part of me that wants the easy route. Smile for some photos, nod through a few speeches, then fix everything later. I almost say yes just to get out of that room alive. Then I remember what I buried under our garage shelf that week. The little plastic bottles in his old backpack, hidden sloppy and rushed. I remember the kid's mother pounding on our front door afterward. I feel that night crawl up my throat and I cannot swallow it. No, it comes out faster than I expected. She looks at me like I just slapped the bottle from her hand. Why are you doing this? She asks, eyes not leaving my face. This is not about you anymore, this is about him and us. Exactly, I answer and my voice cracks in the middle. That name does not just belong to family grief, it carries real mess. I see the instant she hears something different underneath my words. Her brow pulls tight and she leans forward, ignoring the pain. What mess? She barely moves her mouth. You keep hinting there is something, say it, say what you are dancing around. My heartbeat starts pounding louder than the monitors near the bed. I could still shrug it off and look like a jerk instead of a traitor. Back then, I honestly thought keeping quiet made me protective, not cowardly. Now telling you this, I know exactly which one I was. I stare at our son's tiny fingers and know I am out of room. If I lie again, I am tying him to a story built on rot. Your brother was dealing fro. In our garage, the words scrape coming out. She blinks once like she misheard me. You are not funny, she mutters, shaking her head. I do not laugh, I just keep going because stopping now would be worse. He used our place when you were at work, my hands tremble slightly. Through his bag behind my tools came in jittery, never stayed long. Her lips part but nothing comes out. I rush ahead, scared I will lose the nerve if I pause. One of his regulars was a kid from down the street. You remember the sirens last spring, the ambulance in front of their house. Your brother texted me that night, told me it had nothing to do with him. My voice drops. He moved his stash out of our place the next morning. She presses her palm over our son's ear like she can protect him from sound. You are lying to get out of this. Her eyes shine but no tears fall. That is a disgusting lie. She spits the last word like it burns. I wish to God it was a lie because that would be easier. I met the kid's mother on the sidewalk 2 days later. She told me who he bought from. She knew his nickname and his car. She begged me to talk to him, to do something before someone else got hurt. I swallow hard. I never told you because I was scared of blowing everything up. She laughs, one short ugly sound that hangs between us. You are blowing everything up right now, she points at our son. And you wait until after he is born to drop this garbage. Her shoulders shake and she holds onto the crib rail like she might fall. I get why this sounds like a convenient story. I get why anyone hearing it would think I am rewriting the past to win an argument. Back then I hoped I could keep both things true. Their perfect memory and my quiet horror that did not fit inside it. You should have told me then, she whispers through her teeth. You let him come over for dinner after that, her voice rises. You let my parents brag about him in front of you. She stares at me like I am the one who handed over the pills. I tried to cut him off, I answer, my chest tight. I told him he could not use our place again. I told him I would tell you. He cried. He promised he was done. He said your parents would never recover if they knew. I look at her hands gripping the rail. I believed him because it was easier than blowing your family apart. You kept his secret, she says slowly like she is translating something foul. For months you slept next to me every night and kept that for him. Every word lands like a little strike. She is not wrong, and hearing it out loud makes me hate myself more. She turns her head toward the wall and stays there for a long moment. Our son fusses and she adjusts him automatically, eyes fixed on nothing. When she finally looks back at me, her face is set hard. If you hated him so much, at least own that. Do not pretend you are some guardian of truth now. I did not hate him, I answer, and it is the rawest thing I say. I was sick of cleaning up after him and pretending it was unlucky timing. I was tired of being the only one who saw both versions. I glance at the certificate on the tray. I am not hanging that on our kid. She follows my eyes to the paper and then back to me. So this is your big moral stand, she says, voice flat. Tell me something. Would you have ever told them if we did not have a son? She holds my gaze like she already knows the answer and just wants to watch me choke on it. The honest answer is stuck right behind my teeth. Back then, I probably would have taken this to the grave. Now there is a baby with a blank future and a name waiting. That little fact drags the truth out of me whether I am ready or not. I do not know, I finally manage, which is the closest to honest I can get. Maybe I would have kept pretending, maybe not. But I know I am not starting his life with a lie printed on the top line. I hear my own voice shake, and I know this part of me is not going back in the box. She looks away again and lifts her phone with one hand. Her thumb moves over the screen much slower this time. I cannot see the message, but I hear the faint whoosh as it sends. Later, I find out that was the first time she told anyone I was accusing her brother of something unforgivable. The door flies open before I finish the thought. Her parents march in like they already reached a verdict. Emily is pale and rigid against the pillow, our son on her chest. Her mother holds the phone out toward me like it is evidence. So now you're calling him a drug dealer. My stomach drops because I know exactly what text they saw. I glance at Emily and she will not meet my eyes. Her dad steps to the end of the bed and plants his feet. You bring our grandchild into the world and smear our boy the same day. His voice stays level, which is always worse than yelling. I did not want to do this today, that is the first thing out of my mouth. It sounds pathetic even to me, and I instantly hate it. But you all keep pushing that name like nothing else ever happened. Her mom laughs once, quick and humorless. Nothing else happened except his death, and you know that. You want to accuse him of something, do it straight, her dad says. No hints, no half-stories through text, say it here. He folds his arms and nods at the chair beside the bed. Sit and explain what you think you know about my son. I stay standing because my legs feel like they might fold. You know that feeling when you realize there is no safe sentence left. Every path out of your mouth hurts someone different. That is all I felt right there, just spinning options in my head. There was no version where everyone walked out together. So I picked the one where my own kid did not carry the wreckage. I look at Emily first, not them. I'm going to say things you hate, I warn her. You can fact-check every detail if you want, but I am done hiding this. She grips the rail with one hand and our son with the other. Just talk, she whispers, and that cuts deeper than any insult. Last winter, I start, and her father immediately tenses. He showed up shaking, sweating through his shirt, could barely stand upright. He locked himself in our bathroom, and I heard him crash into the tub. When I forced the door open, he was on the floor, not responding. I can feel my throat tighten again, even telling you this now. Her mom waves a hand like she is swatting a fly. He had an anxiety episode once, the urgent care explained that. I shake my head because that neat story always bothered me. There were pill bottles on the counter that were not his prescriptions. I flushed them while calling for help because he could not even sit up. Her dad's jaw flexes and he stares hard at my face. Convenient that nobody else happened to witness these mystery pills. So I guess we are just taking your word for it. I want to snap back, ask why I would invent something this ugly. Instead, I keep going because stopping now would make me look worse. After that night, he started hiding things in our house, I say. In the cabinet under the sink, behind the cleaning stuff in the back. I found little containers shoved into a grocery bag, no labels, nothing. When I confronted him, he begged me not to tell anyone, especially you two. He promised he was quitting, and I was stupid enough to accept it. Emily squeezes her eyes shut, like she can erase the words. Why did you never bring this to us? Her mother demands. Why keep a secret like that for almost a year? Her voice climbs higher with each question, sharp and shaking. You only speak up when it helps you dodge a name. That one lands because there is some truth buried inside it. I could have spoken sooner, before funerals, before speeches, before baby names. I did not, and I live with that choice every day. I was scared it would destroy you, I answer, and it sounds thin. Scared you would look at him the way you are looking at me right now. Her dad takes a single step closer, hands still jammed in his pockets. Do you hear yourself? He asks quietly, almost gently. You are asking us to trade our son's memory for your story. He glances at the certificate on the tray, then back at me. And also, you do not have to write 5 letters on a line. This is not about letters, I snap, control slipping. It is about what comes attached to them, what kind of life he actually lived. And what you are trying to paste on our child to make yourselves feel better. The room goes dead still after that, even the monitors seem to pause. I know I crossed a line, but I cannot drag those words back. Her mom's face hardens in a way I have never seen. You are not worthy to speak his name in front of us. She steps between me and the crib like I am a threat. You turn your back on our son's memory on the day our grandson is born. Do not pretend this is noble, this is cruelty. Emily finally looks up at her parents, then at me. Her eyes are red but dry now, which somehow feels worse than tears. Is any of that true? Her dad asks her, pointing at me without looking away. Did you ever see anything to suggest this about your brother? She swallows and then gives the smallest shake of her head. That hurts in a different way, not because she is lying. She never saw those parts, I kept them from her. I thought I was sparing her, now it makes me look unhinged. I am the one who caught it, of course you did not see, I protest. Everything ugly happened when you were not there, that is the whole problem. Her mom snorts short and bitter. So we just ignore all the years we raised a good boy. All his friends, his teachers, everyone who loved him. And believe the one person who scratched his name off his nephew's form. You do hear how insane that sounds, right? I am not going to lie, I almost walked it back right. Then, I almost said I exaggerated, that I misunderstood, that grief warped my memory. There was a way out if I blamed stress and lack of sleep. I could have swallowed everything and let them keep their perfect picture. I looked down at my son's tiny face and that exit vanished. If you want to hate me, go ahead, I tell them. I am not letting you build another shrine on his back. Use any other family name, pick a new one, I do not care. But I am not raising our kid under someone else's unfinished business. This is where I am drawing the line. Her dad's shoulders drop a little, like something just clicked into place. Then here is mine, he answers, no hesitation. You are not welcome in our home until you take that back. He points toward the hall. You can visit when she is there if she allows it. But you will not be alone with our grandson, not after this stunt. That last part hits me harder than the house ban. Are you serious? I ask, voice cracking more than I want. You think I am dangerous to my own child because I refused a name? Because I told you what your son actually did in our house. He just nods once, like the conversation is already over. Emily shifts the baby higher and angles her body away from me. It is a small move, but it might as well be a wall. Can you give us a minute? She asks her parents without looking my way. Her mom hesitates, then touches her shoulder. We will be right outside, she says softly, for her, not for me. They step out and the door closes with a solid click. The silence left behind presses harder than all their shouting. Our son fusses and she hums under her breath, eyes on his face. I stand there on the other side of the bed, feeling like a guest. I realize I am now the only person in that room who knows the full story, and I am also the only one nobody wants to believe. The nurse wheels in with one more clipboard before any of us speak. Discharge time, she chirps, like we have all been waiting for this. She checks the bracelet on my wrist, then on our son. We just need final signatures and confirmation of the full name. Every word lands like a countdown. I cannot stop. Emily shifts upright and winces, one hand on the bed rail. Her eyes flick to the tray where the certificate already lies. The first name I chose sits there in print, solid and small. The line where the middle name goes is still open. It feels like the last piece of ground between us. The nurse taps that empty space with her pen. You wanted to add a middle name, right? She glances from me to Emily, waiting for someone to own it. Emily draws in a slow breath and reaches out her hand. I will write it, she says, not looking my way once. I watch the pen move, blocking the letters with her fingers. I half expect her to sneak her brother in there anyway. My chest tightens as she pulls the tip across the page. When she lifts her hand, it is a neutral, completely different name. No family connection, no secret tribute, nothing for anyone to fight over. The nurse smiles and nods, like this is just a normal moment. So first name, middle name, last name, everything correct. She repeats the combination once, clean and official. Hearing it out loud hits harder than I thought it would. It sounds like a person separate from any dead relative. That is fine, Emily murmurs, eyes on our son. Her voice shakes slightly on the last word, but she does not correct it. I hear what she is not saying under that tiny approval. Not good, not great, not what I wanted, just fine. Sometimes fine is the coldest verdict you can get. The nurse walks us through feeding notes and follow-up visits. I nod in the right places, but my mind is nowhere near it. Emily asks most of the questions, clipped and focused. Her parents hover near the wall, pretending to listen. None of them look at the name sheet again, like it burns. When the nurse leaves, the door clicks shut and the room shrinks. Her mom clears her throat and adjusts the strap on her bag. So we will take her and the baby to our place for a bit. She says it like we agreed to that earlier, like it is settled. I feel the words slam into me before I can answer. Emily strokes our son's back, still not lifting her head. I need help the first days, she mutters, almost to herself. They have the room ready and they can take night shifts. I know she is not lying about that part, they will swarm him. It still feels like she is moving out while I stand 5 feet away. Are you coming home at all? I ask, my throat dry. The two older faces snap toward me like I broke some rule. Emily finally meets my eyes, and it hurts more than when she avoided them. Not tonight, she answers, no pause, no stutter. I need space, she lets the last word hang there between us. Her dad steps in like a guard at a gate. We already talked about boundaries, he reminds, not bothering to soften it. You can visit when. She is ready and when one of us is present. He looks right at me on that last part so I cannot miss it. The message is clear enough, you are a risk we are managing. I am his father, it bursts out before I can tame it. I hear how desperate it sounds as soon as it leaves my mouth. Nobody is saying you are not, her mother replies, eyes narrowing. We are saying trust has to be rebuilt after what you pulled. They toss around the word trust like I am the only one who broke it. Emily cuddles our son closer and presses her cheek to his hair. I cannot unhear what you said about him, she whispers, voice raspy. And I cannot put that name on this baby now either. Her eyes fill but the tears never actually fall. It is messed up from every side and I do not know what to do with that yet. I told you because of him, I answer, nodding toward our son. Not to win an argument, not to hurt you. That sounds weak even as I say it, like a defense rehearsed too late. But I mean it in a way I did not mean anything yesterday. There is no version where I stay quiet and feel right looking at that kid. Her parents move into motion, like the debate is over. Her mom starts packing the few things we have scattered around. Her dad folds the blanket tighter around the baby's legs. Every movement pulls them closer together while I stand off to the side. It looks a lot like a unit shutting a door on me. The wheelchair arrives and the nurse helps Emily ease into it. Our son is tucked in her arms, tiny and oblivious. Her dad grabs the handles, already leaning forward to push. The nurse pauses and looks at me instead. Do you want to roll them out? She asks, voice gentle. Her father stiffens, waiting for Emily to intervene. She does not say no, but she does not say yes either. She just glances at me, tired and conflicted. You can walk with us, she murmurs almost under her breath. That is the only compromise she gives me in that hallway. So her dad keeps the handles while I walk beside the chair. Her mom trails just behind, phone buzzing every few steps. I catch glimpses of the family chat lighting up again. I already know my new role in that thread, the villain with the new baby. You do not have to see the words to feel them. At the elevator, the nurse stops us to confirm the car seat plan. Who is placing the baby in the car? She asks briskly. His father, she adds, like it is a technical note, not a stance. Her dad opens his mouth, then closes it. For once, nobody argues with the label on my wrist. In the loading area, the cold air hits and wakes me up a little. Her parents' car waits pulled up to the curb. I buckle the base in under the nurse's eye while they hover. When I lift our son from Emily's arms, everything in me goes quiet. This might be the last simple thing I get to do for a while. I settle him into the seat, hands clumsy and careful. His eyes flicker open for a second, unfocused and calm. Hey buddy, I whisper, using the first name out loud just for him. It sounds steadier than I feel. For a second the world shrinks to the straps and his small chest moving. Her mother leans over my shoulder and checks each buckle. Make sure you follow the pediatrician's schedule, she reminds Emily. We will drive you to every appointment until you are recovered. She does not say my name once in that whole sentence. It is like the hospital band on my wrist only works inside the building. Emily climbs into the back seat next to the carrier. She brushes our son's cheek with 2 fingers and looks up at me. We will talk, she says, and it sounds more like a question than a promise. Not tomorrow, not next week, just someday. I nod because I have nothing else to offer that will not explode again. Her dad closes the door between us with a soft thud. I step back while the engine starts and my reflection stares back from the glass. My car waits a few spaces down, completely useless without them. They pull away slow, her face turned toward the baby, not the window. I stand there long after their taillights vanish around the corner. When I finally drive home, the house feels wrong before I even step in. Every room is set up for a baby who is not arriving tonight. The quiet is loud enough that I almost turn around and go back. Instead, I walk to the little room we painted for him and stop in the doorway. The empty space where the crib should hold him hits harder than any insult. I sit on the floor with my back against the wall and stare at nothing. The name packet from the hospital sticks out of my bag beside me. I pull it out and run my thumb over the printed full name. Nobody can change these lines now without a huge fight. This is the one thing that actually stuck today. I will not pretend I felt noble in that moment. I felt gutted and furious and weirdly stubborn all at once. Part of me wanted to call and apologize for everything, even the truth. Another part 1. Ted to send the kid's mother from down the street a message and ask her to tell her story. I did neither. I just sat there and let the weight of what I had done settle. Even now, telling you this, I still do not have a clean answer. Maybe I protected my son from being chained to someone else's wreckage. Maybe I wrecked his whole extended family on the day he was born. What I know is I could not write that old name on his life and live with myself. I just hope someday when he learns this story, he understands why I picked the fight nobody wanted me to start.